Welcome back to Summers Gymnasium in Dayton, Tennessee. We're here for another AAC matchup between the men of Bryan College and the men of Milligan University. I just got done talking to both the coaches, and Cam, this should be a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good one. Got, I think, the number 6 team in the conference in Milligan and number 4 team in Bryan. Another top AAC matchup like the first game was. It's not as high stakes as 2 and 3, but I can promise you this, it ain't going to disappoint.
I think it's 4 and 6, though. I mean, these teams are about as even as they get, and that both Coach Robinson from Milligan and Coach Rakoski from Bryan both noted that.
Right.
You know, we play a very different style, but we're pretty evenly matched as far as skill level and everything else goes down the line.
And I think after Union, I think we can all go ahead and say is the runaway with this conference, most likely.
Yeah.
But I think 2 through 7 is up for grabs.
No,
I think it's anybody's game.
I completely agree, and we're just a few moments away from PA announcements and lineups, which are done by me, so just stay tuned for that. We're about 25 seconds away from that. But, yeah, we're going to get into some of our key players here in just a moment and the keys for victory for both teams. So stay tuned for that. We have an exciting matchup here in mountainous Dayton, Tennessee on a beautiful, close to winter day on the hill here at Bryan College. So it should be a good one. It's destined to be a good one, Cam.
Oh, 4 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. Some wild things can happen in the basketball world.
Stay tuned for PA announcements. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Bryan College welcomes all players, officials, and spectators to Summers Gymnasium for tonight's men's basketball contest between Milligan University and your Bryan College Lions. As a member of the NAIA and the Appalachian Athletic Conference, we're committed to the true spirit of competition, embracing 5 core values: respect, integrity, responsibility, servant leadership, and sportsmanship. We ask that each of you abide by these values to help create a positive and competitive environment. Please enjoy tonight's contest. Now please rise for a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for everything that you've given us. Thank you most of all for your Son Jesus, who forgives us of our sins and gives us new life with you. Lord, we love you. We thank you. We pray for protection. We pray that these guys do everything for your glory and your honor. In Jesus' name, amen. And now for our starting lineups. First, for Milligan. Starting at 4, from Cervinaglio, Italy, number 0, Semi Sanad. Starting at guard from Hickory, North Carolina, number 1, Levante Knox. Starting at forward from Wellington, New Zealand, number 12, Sam Dole. Starting at center from Valparaiso, Indiana, number 13, Flynn Carlson. And starting at guard from Bluff City, Tennessee, number 23, Dylan Bartley. Now get on your feet and put your hands together for your Bryan College Lions. Starting at guard from Chattanooga, Tennessee, number 1, Ian Johnson. Starting at guard from Nashville, Tennessee, number 2, G. Holmes. Starting at forward from Alcoa, Tennessee, number 12, Nick Roberts. Starting at forward from Lebanon, Tennessee, number 22, Noah Molesky. And starting at forward from Scott County, Tennessee, number 32, Trey Morrow. And there we have it, Cam. Announcements, lineups, all the pleasantries are done, and we're ready for tip-off.
Let's do it, Lions Nation. Let's ride.
You've been waiting for that one, haven't you?
Just a little bit. No, let's just get into some of these key players right here for this tip-off right here. Ian Johnson, number 1 for the Bryan Lions. Still coming off injury, still a little shaky, but didn't look shaky the other night. 23 points, averaging 12 a game, shooting 31% from 3, and a small sample size is only going to grow. Gene Holmes, 12 points a game, 16 last game, a quiet 16, also averaging 2 points a game. And the workhorse, Noah Molesky, man, almost 14 to 15 points a game, shoot 40% from 3, adding 5 rebounds to his position is huge as well. You know,
of course, those guys will make a difference for Bryan, but here in just a second, we'll lay out who makes a difference for Milligan as we're ready for tip-off. We'll do that at our first break, Cam.
Sounds good. Let's roll.
Looks like Milligan's going to get the tip. It goes to Sammy Sinad from Italy. There's Sinad from Italy. Sorry, that was Levante Knox. Levante Knox cross-court pass. The 3-ball. Good. Dylan Bartley for 3. Gene Holmes running the court quickly. The crossover down the court. The layup. Good. What a move, Cam.
Great move. Love how he just attacked right off the dribble there, right off the get-go. Just kind of set the tone on the line for the Lions on offense today.
Levante Knox to Sinad. Back to Knox on the handoff. Takes the screen. Thinks about the 12-foot shot. Gets it back to him. Down low. The hook shot. Down low. Flynn Carlson. Good. 5-2 quickly here for Milligan. Gene Holmes swinging it out to Johnson. Mulaski top of the key, swinging it wide. Morrow has it now. Back to Holmes. Now Roberts in the corner. Holmes tries to get it to Trey Morrow down low and nothing there. Picked off. Sam Gold resets things by giving it to Levante Knox. Sammy Sinad from 18 feet. Rattles out. No good. Rebound Milligan. The spin move. Yeah, one too many steps there.
Yeah.
A traveling violation is called. That was Flynn Carlson with the spin move and the travel. I have a feeling I'm going to get Flynn Carlson and Sam Gold mixed up all night long.
I think you're on to something there. I'm glad I'm not the one that has to keep constantly saying their name.
Gene Holmes swinging it wide. And Johnson looking for somebody. There's Morrow.
Great move.
What a move by Morrow. The floater, the touch, the bucket.
Milligan come out in almost like a 2-3 matchup kind of zone there. They really worked the middle well. Morrow come out from the back wing and just kind of come in and made a second cut behind Roberts, who made the initial cut and who was working the free throw line. Just really, really good, because sometimes they forget about that second cutter, you know?
Absolutely.
Great handsy defense.
Picked away from Gene Holmes. The 2-on-2 match, the 2-on-2 fast break. Looks like it was packed a little bit there from Levante Knox. Johnson can't get it to fall. Sammy Sinad up the court. Dylan Bartley has it. Now back to Levante Knox.
Already can tell. Bartley, if he gets the ball, he's going to shoot it.
Yeah.
He wants it, buddy.
Levante Knox working baseline on Gene Holmes.
There he is.
Carlson to Bartley. Bartley for 3, no good. Sinad with the rebound, the reverse lay, bucket. Long pass up the court to Mulaski.
Double team, somebody's open. Oh, well, it's the zone, never mind.
Gene Holmes trying to find some penetration in the zone. Gene Holmes manning this offense here tonight. They get the cut from Trey Morrow, just can't get a handle on it. Good idea, just can't execute. Levante knocks up the court, the 2-on-1, no good. And puts the zone rebound back up and in. Quick lead for Milligan, 9-4.
Early on, offensive rebounds have been kind of plaguing the Lions here. They're going to have to kind of sure up on the boards.
Trey Morrow swinging it wide to Mulaski. Gene Holmes here in the corner close to us. What a cut from Trey Morrow. They're just going to leave him open, give it to him.
I have a feeling if they stay in that zone, Morrow is going to have a field day. That is his game. That is what he loves to do. He loves to get in the middle. He loves that mid-range aspect to it. And he's very crafty in how he gets to the bucket, too. He's going to have a good day if they keep with that defensive scheme. He hooked.
Yeah, and it looks like, they're going to call the offensive foul there on Sam Gold for hooking his defender. Cam, Sam Gold is one of our key players as we walk into that. He's averaging 11.6 points per game, 7.1 rebounds. Who are our other two guys that we're going to be looking out for tonight's matchup?
Levante Knox, number one, averaging almost 11 points a game. He's second in the conference in field goal percentage, shooting almost 61%.
Wow.
And he's a guard.
Yeah.
Just shows how smart he is. He just knows where he wants to take his shots. He takes smart shots. And, he also averages 5 rebounds, so he's kind of a bigger guard. I think he's 6'2", so he's a little bit bigger guard. That's money.
The extra pass to Ian Johnson, no good. Good box out there from Bartley. Trey Morrow picks it away, though. Ian Johnson has some space. Morrow with the 12-foot J. Back rim, no good. Ian Johnson picks it away again. Is elbowed by Dylan Bartley, no call. Levante knocks up the court quickly. Dylan Bartley with some space in the corner. He's driving, the left-handed lay from the right side, no good, and it's going to be batted out of bounds on him.
And that name right there, Dylan Bartley.
Yeah.
39% from three. He is blazing it, buddy, averaging almost 16 points a game. He's the leading scorer on this squad. He's gonna run around, and he's gonna kind of like Mulaski a little bit last game. He's gonna try to hunt his shot like that. That's how he's gonna play.
Yeah.
Kind of like that Danny Green kind of guy. He's gonna be 3-and-D. Kyle Corverish, just throwing out some big names, I guess. And I mean, now granted, probably don't hold a candle to those guys. I mean, they are NBA All-Stars, but that's the kind of game he wants to model around. But I think that's just the key. I mean, they played good ball all year. Both squads have. I think Bryan wants to really get up and down the court on offense. I think they're going to be really handsy and in the passing lanes on defenses, as they've already forced 3 turnovers, man, in the first 5 minutes of the game. And I think the key for Milligan is going to be shutting down the 2 main scorers for Bryan and Johnson and Mulaski. But when you do that, you open up the door for Gene Holmes to also score. Trey Moore, man, he's not in our key players, but he's just as key as anybody else on the court. And you've already seen it early. He's getting in there, and he's just dicing and slicing that zone.
I try to cut the key players down to 3, and it's kind of hard for this well-rounded offensive effort for Bryan. There's Mulaski for 3. Long rebound, Morrow. We just got done talking about him. Roberts, the kick out to Holmes. Holmes for 3. No good. They're fighting for it. Rebound. Sam Gold. Sam Gold taking it up the floor. He loses a handle on it. Mulaski dives for it. Can't get to it. Sanad with the long pass up to him. He puts it up and in for the 2-point basket. Gene Holmes kind of setting things up offensively, running through their set.
Good no-look by Ian Johnson.
Gene Holmes moving to the left side. The floater, no good off the front rim. Score remains 11-6. Buffalo's on top. Sam Gold for 3. No good off the front rim. Good box out from Mulaski. Johnson with the rebound. He's going to take it himself up the court. Nick Roberts, top of the key.
So Milligan switching up, going with a variety of defenses here and going back man. I think they saw that Morrow was going to give them a hard time in the middle, so they're going to try to keep them on their feet the whole night.
Holmes driving, Holmes scoring and drawing the foul. He'll have a chance at the line to complete the 3-point play.
But I got news for Sam Gold. He ain't keeping up with him.
No, there's not many people in the NAI that can keep up with Gene Holmes off the dribble.
Electric, fast, elusive. I can go on.
Looks like Adam Graham is going to be checked in for Milligan, the senior from Bloomington, Indiana. Khalil D.A. going to be checked in for the Lions, coming in for Nick Roberts. D.A., of course, one of the fan favorites here at Bryan. A sophomore from Hendersonville, Tennessee. Well loved in Dayton, Tennessee. Holmes to complete the 3-point play. And I thought Khalil D.A. drew the foul there for a second, but another substitution is going to be coming in. Caleb Grimes in for the shooter, Gene Holmes. The score 11-9. Milligan still leading. 14-14 remaining in the first half. Couple substitutions in for Milligan. Sanad down low, working D.A. Kicks it back out. The 3-ball, no good from Green. Puts it back in. The score 13-9.
Bryan went with a little zone there as well, just kind of throw him off a little bit. And I think Milligan's going back to it.
The 18-foot jumper from Ian Johnson, no good. And despite appearing to go off of a Milligan defender, they're going to give the ball to Milligan.
Yeah, no, that ain't really the call we want, not the call we think's the right call, but these referees, they call games every single night. They know what they're doing.
They're a lot closer to the action than we are.
Exactly.
Drew Green in, a graduate from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Driving and handing off. Sanad thinks about pulling up from 17, thinks better of it. Back to Green, stolen from Mulaski. Caleb Grimes tracks it down, going the other way.
And Grayson, that's 5 forced turnovers for the Lions already.
That's pretty impressive.
That's very impressive. He traveled.
And Johnson trying to get around his defender. Grimes in the corner. Grimes going to take the screen from Morrow. Looking for some space. There's D.A. the baseline. Off the foot of D.A. Morrow picks it up. Mulaski in the corner for 3. No good. Rebound, Milligan. Good save there from Sammy Sinad. Drew Green up the court near the NAIA logo, moving towards the middle. Hands it off, but no, Ian Johnson steals it. Diving for it is Johnson, and it's going to be out of bounds on Milligan, off the hands of Bartley. What effort there from Ian Johnson.
That was a great effort, and that's what they're going to have to do all night on Dylan Bartley. You know, that like they're wanting to run him off screens, they're wanting to run him off curls, and they're probably going to end up hitting some flare screens at the end of the day, because you're going to see stuff like that happen where they're just in his hip pocket the whole way. There's no going under screens. You have to follow him around every single screen, and you know Ian's looks to be a faster defender than Bartley is a faster runner. So just curious to see how that matchup's going to go. It's going to be a real chess match trying to kind of figure out how to get him implemented into the game.
Dalen Gales gets by Green, misses the layup. It's going to be out. Ooh, I thought that was out on Milligan once again, but it goes back to the Buffaloes. Drew Green back up the court, slowing things down here. I talked to Coach Robinson before the game, and Cam, I wish you were down there. He had a lot of good things to say about this one. He said they're going to try to throw some variety at Bryan, to just kind of throw it at the wall and see what sticks kind of mentality.
There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes when you come down the court and you think you're set up for one defense and then you have to set up for another, it takes time off the clock. It kind of gets you kind of bamboozled a little bit. Just great rundown by Morrow there. Good team rebound.
Grimes up the court for the Lions. Grimes blows by his defender, the finger roll, the bucket. 13-11. Buffalo still leading, 11.5 remaining in the first.
You know, 9 minutes into the game is early to say, but I don't think they're going to have an answer for our two guards in Holmes and Grimes. I think between them two and Morrow, I think there's a potential for a big day to happen here.
DA all over Carlson. Sinad running baseline. He gets the slam.
Man, he's just got an athletic body type, don't he?
He really does.
It's unreal how he's not doing more than he's doing. My goodness. He got into it on defense there.
Grimes blows by the defender again and teases the crazy reverse layup. The foul is called on the floor on Sammy Sinad. You know, as we laid out our key players, we had Levante Knox and Sam Gold and Dylan Bartley. I'm wondering if we didn't miss somebody, Cam, and Sammy Sinad.
I know, man. If I had to walk out on the court right now and pick a player to just play something physical or athletic-wise, not knowing what it is, I'd pick him first every time. Just a super athletic body type. Looks like he moves. Good slip screen.
Morrow slips the screen. Can't finish at the rim. 15-11. Buffalo still leading. Sinad up the court. DA guarding. Sinad with the handoff. Good pick there by Trey Morrow. The Lions continue to get the Buffaloes to turn it over. DA driving left, pass to Mulaski. Mulaski nearly loses the handle on it, back out to DA. DA with the jab, handoff to Mulaski, thinks about it, drives middle. Loses the handle on it, there's DA once again though. DA with the reverse, DA with the bucket. Man, DA's just in the right spot at the right time that time.
Sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good.
The shot deep from Julian Wilson, no good. Rebound Lions, Grimes up the court. Mulaski here near side wing. Thinks about taking the screen, takes the long three ball, no good. Rebound, Sinad. Eli Walls into the game for the Buffaloes, as well as Julian Wilson, as I mentioned earlier. There's Eli Walls for three, no good. Rebound.
Yeah.
Rebound was going to be for Adam Graham, but he was fouled there on the floor. Be the first team foul for the Lions. Nick Roberts and Ian Johnson check back into the game for Dalen Gales and Trey Morrow.
Here's one of my favorite lineups right here. We talked about this the other night. I actually just talked about this with Caleb Grimes' dad. I just love it when him and Gene Holmes are on the court at the same time. They complement each other so well.
It is by far, they could have three random people out there, but when Caleb Grimes and Gene Holmes are on the court at the same time, it is one of the most entertaining basketball games to watch.
It is.
If there's any time you want to watch the game, like get off your phone and watch this, because these two guards on the floor at the same time is entertaining. Dylan Bartley misses the three-pointer just short. Rebound, Gene Holmes. Gene Holmes and Caleb Grimes were teammates at East Nashville High School. Holmes can't finish there at the rim. They were teammates for 3 years at East Nashville High School. And so they definitely have some chemistry on the court, and you can tell. Dylan Bartley drives, Dylan Bartley scores.
Good drive, good take by him. Very good body control to get in the paint.
Grimes taking it up the court this time for the Lions. Good pass to Roberts there at the 15-foot mark. He's going to take the free throw shot, no good. Off the back rim, rebound Wilson. Green up the court, pass to Knox. Knox back out to Green. Good pass there from Green down low to Adam Graham. He just can't finish, but he'll get the foul call, so he'll have 2 free throws. 17-13, Cam, with just over 11 minutes gone in the first half. What is it going to take for the Lions to kind of remain in this game? We talked about it in the women's game, kind of trailing there as Adam Graham misses on the first shot. What's it going to take to kind of remain in this game as we move a little closer to halftime?
You know, Grayson, I think funny enough, I think Milligan should be counting their blessings that they are winning this ball game. Because I do not think they have outplayed the Lions so far. I just think Bryan they're just going to hit shots. You know, because they're getting everything they want.
Caleb Grimes for 3, no good.
And
Bartley with the rebound.
Kind of brings up my next point. I think they've been settling for a lot of jump shots. Not a lot, but some. Grimes and Holmes and even Morrow have proved that they can't stay in front of them. I don't think this is a very good and sound defensive Milligan team, and I feel like they just need to get to the bucket. 7 turnovers forced, and you're 8.
Good pick there from Caleb
turnovers
Grimes.
Forced, and you are still behind. Milligan needs to be just considering themselves lucky.
Yay with the long 3 ball, just short, no good. Pass up to Adam Graham. Adam Graham for 3, way long. Bartley's there to get the rebound. He puts it up, no good. Tips back out to Levante Knox. Knox is there. Green in the corner. Green for 3, no good. Rebound, Graham. Graham fighting for it down there at the baseline. He's going to call him out of bounds. Bryan possession.
9 turnovers.
Wow, they just keep adding up, but that score hasn't been shrinking, though.
I know. They have probably just as many field goals as turnovers by now. I don't have the exact stat line in my hands, but you know, I think Bryan just needs to calm down, get the shots they want to take, and they need to penetrate. They've kind of taken a lot of threes. They hadn't hit them yet, but they're getting to the bucket whenever they want to.
What a move from Ian Johnson. Gets it. Man, but they got to get it to the bucket. And Levante Knox picks it off, going the other way. The left-handed lay, the left-handed bucket, good.
And
extends the lead to 7.
And that's why we're still behind. There's been no capitalization off turnovers.
Gene Holmes out there. Our dynamic duo is split up. Grimes back to the bench with Ian Johnson back on the floor. Nick Roberts thinks about it. Mulaski has some room. He drives middle. There's Johnson. Johnson with the 18-footer. No good. That's out on Mill. No, it's out on Bryan. There's 3 that have not gone our way there on the toss-up possessions.
And I did think that was out on Clear. I thought he did touch that last. But no, I mean, just got to hit shots, you know, and they're going to fall. I mean, the lid's got to come off the basket at some point. Bryan's going to make a push here in a little bit, and I don't know if Milligan's going to be ready for it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they're going to make a push here in a second. Matthew Roberts there with the ball driving left, can't get anywhere. Trey Morrow guarding. Levante Knox now towards the middle. And slowing things up, only 8 ticks on the shot clock. Sammy Sinah driving, back to the basket. There's Gold. The Gold with the shot, can't get it to fall. Back up is Roberts.
However, I will point this out. However, Milligan has 9 turnovers. They also have 6, maybe 7 offensive rebounds to go with it. And
that helps their case.
It almost cancels it out in their case. I'd love to see the second chance points, and I will see if I can't pull that up real fast. My phone kind of acts slow sometimes, so we'll see if we can.
Hey, you're pulling up that Bryan Lions app, right?
I am pulling up the Bryan
We mentioned that earlier in the last game with our ladies, that if you are tuning in and you enjoy Bryan College Sports, and you can download the app on your phone, Bryan Lions. It's compatible with iOS and Apple devices. You can keep up with any and all sports on there. They have a scoreboard, they have schedules and rosters, links to where you can find stats, and that's what we usually use up here in the booth is the Bryan Lions app. But I just want to note before we're here on the long minute timeout that Coach Rakoski was not happy with Nick Roberts down there, and I just think it's because those second chance points that you mentioned, those offensive rebounds that are continuing to happen as this game continues to move along, and they just can't happen if Bryan wants to cut the lead and if they want to win this game.
And I understand that they're bigger, they're longer, they're taller. I think we're stronger. I really do. I think we can push them around a little bit. I don't think there's any reason we should be getting out-rebounded that substantially by them. So
I just recognized I did mix up Sam Gold and Flynn Carlson. I predicted that earlier.
8 second chance points, by the way.
Yeah, that's nearly the difference in the game.
Yes.
A 9-point difference here.
22-13. 19 total rebounds to 5.
Wow. Wow.
Yes. And you want to know why?
Nick Roberts down low with a lot of contact, no call. Has to go up a little bit stronger than that, I think.
Yeah, he's.
Of course, good defense.
Very good. Good recovery.
Recovery. Oh, Ian Johnson nearly picks it off. Bartley for 3.
What I tell you, there's the flare screen. They got the trail on the hip. They hit the flare screen there. It's going to be a chess match to find a way to get him open all day between Coach Rakoski and Milligan's head coach.
It's
Coach Robinson, I believe.
Yep. Gene Holmes taking the screen from Roberts, going to swing it Morrow. Morrow taking a cut inside. Loses a handle on it. Gene Holmes picks it up. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Roberts middle. Good cut from Ian Johnson. The right-handed layup, no good. Rebound. Jump ball there for Morrow.
Going to the home team.
Morrow and Flynn Carlson, I believe that is. And the possession, you're right, will remain in Bryan's hands. .12-point game here with 5:23 remaining in the first half. 25-13, Milligan on top thus far.
And I'd like to note this is no unknown area for Bryan. They have fought from behind in almost every game I've watched this year. Maybe not 12 points, but 8, 6, 9.
Sammy Sinod up. A lot of contact there from Morrow, but no call.
Yep.
And a technical foul is going to be called on Sammy Sinod. The senior from Cervignano, Italy, gets the technical foul. So now it's just up to the decision of who's going to be shooting him, and it looks like it's going to be Trey Morrow.
And he's still going at him. You don't have to take that, ref. You can give him a double. We'll gladly see him out in the game.
Yeah, he's causing a lot of problems for Bryan. He has done a really good job for Milligan thus far, but he's going to take a breather there after the technical foul.
Grayson, if I had to bet my bottom dollar, I'd say he takes a long breather.
Yeah, sometimes players play with a lot of emotion out there. I can't say much. We're both competitive guys. We both play, baseball here at Bryan. I've gotten pretty heated there on the bump before at the umpires, and it's one of those things. It's nothing that you necessarily mean against anybody, but you kind of get caught up in the moment. But
let alone on the bump, on the video games and sports conversations, there's probably yelling in our room at least once a night. At least once a night.
Oh yeah. Trey Morrow kicks it out to Gene Holmes, back out to Mulaski. Mulaski, Ian Johnson, the wide open 3 ball, no good, just can't hit.
Great shot. That's a great shot within the offense. I still love him to drive, but you can't turn down that shot. Yeah. They're going to fall. Ian's a great shooter. Mulaski's a good shooter. Those shots will fall for those guys, and you just got to keep shooting. There's nothing you can do.
Carlson tries to get the cutting Roberts, but a good poke from Trey Morrow. It's going to be out of bounds. Milligan ball. Wow, Roberts finds, oh my goodness, but he misses the wide open layup. Great cut there on the inbound pass. He just can't finish. Holmes has it. Trying to set this offense up. Mulaski sends his buddy Morrow away from the ball. GA in the corner. GA with some space, doesn't take the shot. Mulaski, 8 seconds. Mulaski driving, the step back fade. No good. Rebound, Ian Johnson. What a board. The fade away from Ian Johnson. That one falls.
That's what he needs. Get that. See the ball go through the hoop. Sometimes just what you need to get you going.
Yep, you're right.
I think Bryan in this last 4 minutes is very critical to get the game within 4 or 5. Man.
Dylan Bartley for 3. Dylan Bartley, good. Mulaski, Holmes now.
Going back to that 2-3 zone. Need Trey Morrow in the middle, just dicing it up.
This is kind of what Coach Robinson was telling me. We're going to throw a lot of variety at them. We want to keep them guessing.
And see, that's what it does right there. That's not really a shot you want to take early in the shot clock, because me and you can walk on the court and get that shot right now. You know?
Mine just might not have hit the rim.
Well, but you can get that shot right now.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Levante Knox, the 10-foot floater, good. 13-point lead for Milligan now, 30-17. 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Wow, the spin move, fadeaway jumper, good.
And if I'm a Milligan fan, I'm probably not liking that. You know, that he put his hand up to kind of call a charge, but you know he didn't kind of keep going. He turned around, and I don't hate that call at all. Elevator screen.
Dylan Bartley for 3, no good. Rebound Mulaski.
This is a chess match. Just watching them different kind of cuts and screens to get him open, man. It's just fun to watch.
Ian Johnson here, the near side wing, calling a screen from DA. He drives left, looks right, spins right, the shot, rolls around and good.
That's 3 shots in a row like that for Ian Johnson, man. That's good move.
Yeah, just for him, just attack the middle, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
attack the middle, and most of the time when you attack the middle, good things will happen.
Go out there and go score your buckets. And oh man!
He wrapped around his back. Yeah.
Clear DA plays a really tough brand of basketball, and especially on the defensive side of things, and he almost came away with a steal that time.
I don't feel like outside of Knox, I don't really feel like there's a surefire, comfortable ball handler for Milligan, and I think that's why you saw us kind of make a push when Knox come out, because one, nobody could guard Holmes, and then 2, there was not really a true ball handler on the court.
Dylan Bartley there has some space, kicks it out to Graham. Graham top the key for 3, no good.
You have to box
Rebound
out.
Roberts, he gets the bucket and the foul to send him to the line for the 3-point play. The sophomore forward from Canton, North Carolina, Matthew Roberts at the line. Cam, how close is that to your hometown? Do you know?
No, not really sure. I'm not really sure. I know we have Drew Green 40 minutes from my hometown. I live in Siler City, North Carolina. I'm not too far from Chapel Hill, where the University of Chapel Hill is. I'm about 45 minutes. A little further.
And Johnson's going to take the 3 ball.
Just
misses back rim. He had some space with the zone defense there. 33-21, Buffalo. The Buffaloes of Milligan University leading. Just a minute 25 remaining in the first half. Ian Johnson really pokes it away from Bartley. Bartley with the crossover. Behind the back now. Stolen away from DA, but back into the hands of Roberts. Bartley's going to run to the 3-point line like he was playing pickup basketball there. Takes a shot and misses. Gene Holmes driving up the floor quickly. Just over a minute left in the game. The reverse layup blocked by Roberts.
I think he's about the only guy in the country that, or maybe in the American, or not American, Appalachian Athletic Conference that could get away with doing that.
Yeah.
That middle is wide. Oh, well, they're running man now. Okay, look like they're in 2-3 again.
Gene Holmes wide open in the corner. Gene Holmes for 3. You don't
Good.
see that man shoot it much, but he nails that one. Cuts the lead to 9.
He got to step into that shot. When the ball comes and comes from the middle, more or less, or like you had to get the step into the ball shot, then you're going to find a really good shot, and a lot of times a lot of success in it.
Knox driving the dish, looking for some room, and he gets it. Flynn Carlson, the sophomore from Valparaiso, Indiana, gets the bucket there, extends the lead back to 11.
Good basketball from Valparaiso.
Yeah. Gene Holmes with it now. They're probably going to try to take the last shot here. They would love to get within 10 points before the half. Gets a high screen there from VA. Ian Johnson now with the ball. And a foul on Dylan Carlson.
I think he bailed Bartley out from that because
yeah,
Bartley
Dylan
was he was stumbling back and he was supposed to be on the highlight reel.
4.6 seconds remaining in the first half. 11-point game. Ian Johnson inbounding it for the Lions as they get their inbound offense set up. Back to Johnson. Johnson just loses a handle on it. And, wow. Nearly makes the three-quarter court shot there. I don't know if you saw how close that was. But anyway, after the first half, Lions trailing 35-24 here in Dayton, Tennessee on their home court in Summers Gymnasium. Good crowd here. We're going to take a break and we'll be back for the halftime show. Stay tuned. We'll be back. All right, we're back here in mountainous Dayton, Tennessee. It's a beautiful day outside, and it's a beautiful day in this gym. Cam, let's break down what we've seen so far. The score's 35-24. Milligan on top after the first half. Cam, what have you seen from both teams? What's kind of shifting this game, one way or the other?
Well, I think there's one glaring stat that really shifts this game. Two, if you ask me. But the first one's second chance points. 11-2, Milligan's winning. That's almost the difference in the game. 9 points, 11-point game. Difference in the game right now. You're never going to have 0 second chance points allowed. It's very rare, but you can keep it to 2 or 4. And points off turnovers. And you're going to look at that stat and like, oh, 4, that's not that bad at all.
Right.
Well, let's just highlight. It says Milligan only had 7 turnovers. I had him down for 10. You know, but I'm also kind of I'm giving dead balls. I'm giving a lot of different stuff too.
Yeah.
I'm also counting. When I say turnovers, I'm counting like the hook foul down here, stuff like that. Actually goes a lot of times goes in a scorebook as a turnover.
Yeah.
So I have him down for 10, but 7 turnovers and 4 points off is not good. Bryan, keep kind of control of the ball. 5 turnovers. Would like to see a little cleanup there. Because you don't want any turnovers anyways, but I thought they did a good job taking care of the ball. I thought when they did turn the ball over, it was just they were trying to play a little bit too fast. They were trying to get out and go some.
Yeah.
But,
I agree with you. And you know, one thing I've got to stop you and just say something that we haven't seen. We've been doing this for a few games now. Something we haven't seen at halftime all year long is this right here. Noah Molaski with a 0 by his name. In every other game in the past, he's usually made up the difference. You know, it's an 11-point game. Usually he's sitting around the 8 to 11-point, points there at the first half, and he has 0 right now. So, our guys are struggling to make their shots. Ian Johnson, 3 for 10. Gene Holmes, 3 for 7. Molaski's 0 for 4. Trey Morrow's 2 for 5. He's doing okay in the offense, but we're 30% from the field in the first half, and that's killing us.
Yeah. No, and they haven't been bad shots at all. And I thought actually, Noah Molaski, we talked about it. You mentioned his 0 points, and I don't think it's a bad. It's not a good thing. It's never a good thing to score 0, but I don't think he's played bad at all. He kind of noticed he wasn't hitting his shots. Now he was online. He had some good looks, man, and they're going to fall. But he didn't force himself into the offense. He's not forcing himself to let the game come to him. He's not forcing himself into the game. He's trying to let the game come to him. So he could easily shot themselves out of this game with him trying to force. But he played very smart basketball, that fifth-year senior leadership. And you saw that he was like, okay, like I'm not hitting my shots. I got other guys that might be hitting their shots. I got other guys with better looks. And I thought that was just a very mature thing of him to do. Now, granted, I'm sure that was a halftime topic where you have to get him going. You have to have him have 10 to 12 points a game. And I just praise him for that. That's just the maturity level. That's just unreal. Let's just shift to Milligan. I want to shift to Milligan real fast because they're shooting 44%, 23% from 3, and they have a lot of guys shooting. Right? Not great. But let's shift to the guy that's killed us, Dylan Bartley. 6 for 12, 3 for 6. He's shooting 50% all around, and it's just he's going to take a high volume shot. He's going to he's going to take 25 shots tonight.
Yeah.
He's going to take 25 shots tonight.
No, he very well could.
That's just the type of ball he plays, because I think he's a good player, but if he's not hitting his shots, and I've just watched one half of basketball with him, so I'm not sure. If he's not hitting his shots, he don't bring the value big enough to even really keep him out there. Because defensively, he's not a liability. He's not bad defensively, but he's not. But you look down the bench and they're bringing in guys that move a little bit better than him, that can guard his position a little better. So you're not keeping him out there for his defense.
Yeah.
He's not playmaking like some other guys may could. I have no clue what their bench is. They went kind of deep in their bench, but it was only 8 minutes, 4 minutes, 7. Like not a ton of minutes off the bench. There's some. They're going to log probably some double-digit minutes guys off the bench.
Yeah.
But there's also not at his position. So if he don't hit those shots, then it's a different ball game.
No, I agree. And one of the things that we were kind of wanting to highlight before the game is, you know, we were just in this gym earlier this week, and the Lions, they lost a nail biter in their home gym. And I talked to Coach Rakowski before the game, and he said there's so much crowdness in the Appalachian Athletic Conference as far as from about the 2 spot down to the 7 spot.
Yeah.
Everybody's within like a game or 2 of each other. He said if we lose this game, I mean, we just sink down. I mean, we plummet, we spike. If we win this game, we bounce back up to number 3 in the AAC. So this game's huge. And, you know, we know that the Lions have a solid lineup. They have good players that come off the bench. But what we didn't see last game, what we're seeing them do much better is they're moving the ball well on the offensive side of the court, but they're just not scoring. And we've seen that several times. They're not finishing their shots. Their defense has held up all year. It did okay in the first. You know, they had 44%. A lot of that, you know, came from, you know, a surplus in what Dylan Bartley's doing behind the arc. But, you know, they're in this game. It's 11-point game. I think they're playing okay. I think as far as the offensive side of the ball goes, they're moving the ball much better than they did earlier this week against Point. And, of course, Milligan doesn't present as big of a defensive threat as Point did either, but they've got to hit their shots.
Right, and it's one of those things where, you know, Grayson, you'll get this one, I don't know. It's one of those things where you're struggling on the mound, and your coach looks at you, catcher looks at you, your shortstop looks at you and says, hey, man, just throw a strike.
Yeah.
Well, God dog, you think I'm trying to throw a ball? No, they're not trying to miss shots. They're gonna fall. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you let me put it like this. If I'm Coach Rakowski, I'm looking at my team and like, do not panic. It's going to come.
Yeah.
They're going to fall. And if it don't fall at the end of the game and you lose this game by 10 and you shoot 30% on the game and you're taking the good shots you're taking, you're having less than 5 turnovers a half in 20, just commend it. Like, it's almost like tip your hat. Y'all outplayed us this time.
Yeah.
You didn't outplay us. You just outshot us.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's important. That's important in the game of basketball. You can outplay somebody so much, Grayson, and if you don't hit your shots, it don't matter. And that's just what stinks about it. Now, I do want to say, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I do want to say this before it starts. We talked about Levante Knox at the start of the game being very smart player, very headsy player, shooting 60% in the conference, being second in the conference. 6 points, 3 steals, 7 rebounds, but he has no assists, and that's okay. But that is just major.
Yeah.
That, like, for you to have a guy on the team like that, he
guard.
A guard. His length, his height, the way he plays, it's almost leaky Black-esque, like for North Carolina. I mean, he's just a Swiss Army knife. He does it all. You know, he's not presenting this big scoring threat, but if you don't pay attention to him, he's gonna hurt you.
Yeah, you're right.
And he's getting rebounds. He's playing solid defense, and that's what you want out of a guy that's. I mean, he's a senior on this team. He's a leader, but hey, man, a lot of basketball left to play.
There is, and we're ready for the second part of this game. 20 minutes going to determine who comes out of this gym victorious. Speaking of Knox, there he is, near side wing. They got it to Gold, back to Gold on the handoff. Wow, what an offensive play. Sanad
Very
to
creative.
Gold.
And just credit to Coach Robinson, man. Milligan's creativity on offense has just been impeccable. You know, the way they got Bartley open, because they're having to run sets for that. You know, they ran elevator screens, they ran flare screens, they ran curl screens. Man, they've done it all. There he is in the corner.
Johnson wide open in the
Bang.
corner for 3 ball. Good!
There it is. I'm telling you. You keep running stuff like that, they're going to fall.
The time is coming. Ian Johnson, if he gets heated up, and this could be a big one. And wow, man, I'm sorry, but he sold that one a little bit.
Oh, he sold that.
Ian Johnson drew
I'll
the
let
foul
him know
from
it,
Dylan,
too. I'll see
Dylan
him
Bartley.
this week. I'll let him know it. Put him up for an Oscar.
Yeah, I was about to say
Oscar. Is that what it is? That the actor award? Okay,
yeah.
I'm not familiar with my entertainment stuff.
Me either, Ken. You're talking to the wrong guy. I don't even have social media.
Nick Roberts had the short corner.
Gene Holmes, top of the key.
Okay, so they're going to match up here.
He gets by his defender, takes the right-handed layup, and nails it. Top of the key is Knox. 8-point game, 37-29. Milligan on top. Oh, and he throws it to nobody.
There you
Sammy Sinad and Knox are not on the same page. He throws it out of bounds, and Coach Robinson is going to take a timeout to kind of give his guys a break here.
I like that timeout. You know, I know it's early. I know you just come out of the huddle, come out of the half, and you know they give you 6. I don't know if you have a use it or lose it in this on this level. I know in Division I, when you watch
I'm not sure either.
ESPN,
Yeah.
I don't know if they have that. But very rarely.
Probably not
because
they don't have media timeout.
Yeah, and so very rarely are you going to need 6 timeouts in a game. You know, we saw the girls just then. They don't even get 6. They get, I think, 5.
Yeah.
They get 5. And both teams ended with like 2 and 2 or 2 and 1. You're not going to use them all. So don't be stingy with them. And, you know, now I wouldn't go call another one in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But this is a smart one because they come out. They look sharp on the first possession, but the last 3 possessions, offensive and defensive combined, it's just not looked great. Now, Gene Holmes made just a great move. Great finish through contact. It was a really good shot, but they come out regrouped here.
Trey Morrow inbounds it to Gene Holmes. Gene Holmes, point guard here, is going to set things up. He's calling out the offense. Noah Mulaski looking for Nick Roberts. Top of the key, there he is. Ian Johnson gets the handoff from Roberts. He's driving, kicks it out to Morrow. Swings it wide to Ian Johnson. Johnson with the drive, Johnson with the sidestep, Johnson with the bucket. The 3 ball is money.
That's such a beautiful shot. Just so beautiful.
It was an 11-point game just 2 minutes ago. Now it's cut to 5, 37-32. Good defense there from Nick Roberts, stolen by Gene Holmes. Holmes up the court, slows it down. Mulaski thinks about the 3. He moves baseline. Has Ian Johnson in the side corner. Rolls around, no good. Rebound, Trey Morrow. Johnson's cutting. Johnson scoring.
That's how you do it right there. That's how. Just great hustle by Trey Morrow. Great hustle.
Beautiful.
Good cut by
game.
Ian. Good cut by Ian. Add that to the offensive rebounds and second chance points. How about it?
After missing his 3-point shot just by a millimeter, he stays in the possession, comes back with the backdoor cut and scores. Sammy Sinad with an answer. That's a good shot.
Smooth shot.
Holmes back up the court quickly. The crossover, the move, thinks about it, gives it to Roberts. Roberts moving towards the middle, kicks it back out to Mulaski. Mulaski kind of slowing things up here, moving to his left. The pull-up jumper from the elbow, no good.
They're on line, Grayson. They look good. They do look good. He's just some days just like that, man.
It appears that the lid is off, though.
I know. I would like to see him kind of. I know it's not his game, but I'd like to see him drive, maybe get fouled, get to the line, kind of just work your way into it from there. A lot of times when you see the ball go through the bucket, it just opens up like the ocean, man. It's honestly unreal sometimes how that works.
Drew Green checked into the game for Levante Knox. There's Dylan Bartley, gets the inbound pass. Thinks about it, tries to get it down low, and he just can't get it there. Trey Morrow up the court now for the Lions. Gene Holmes kind of slow in the pace a little bit. Yeah, he's going to blow right by Bartley, and he gets the layup. 39-36, 16:40 remaining in the game. Drew Green has it, far side near the AAC logo, swinging it out wide. Carlson looking for anybody, gets the handoff back to Green. There's Gold moving to the right side. Wow, moves through contact, gets the bucket over the hand of Roberts. Holmes the other way now. Holmes looking for a screen from Roberts. Roberts is going to take the ball at the top of the key. Holmes there, far side in the corner. Looking for some space here. The crossover, Roberts in the corner. Roberts driving baseline. Roberts
they're gonna get him.
Commits the charging foul. Drew Green takes the charge there.
That's a tough one to have to swallow because I didn't think it was an out-of-control drive. I thought he was very in control of his body. He even come to a jump stop.
And he kind of jumped straight up too.
That's a tough one to swallow. Not saying it's a wrong call because I think he was there. I think it was the right call. That's just good defense.
Sinad looking for a man. He has Green backside. Mulaski nearly pokes it away, but Carlson's right there. Now Gold's driving inside on Nick Roberts. Off the foot of Carlson, going the other way.
Well, the viewers out there, you can look at the stats. They probably are at 10 or 11 turnovers. I have them at 15 now.
Okay.
I'm counting them at 15, and I'm a little strict on turnovers. I call some things turnovers that might not be official turnovers, but either way around it, they're giving the ball up when they shouldn't be 15 times, and 4 out of the last 5 possessions.
Trey Morrow moving to the left, now moving to the right, the crossover. Bartley guarding there. No bucket made. Green other side. There's Gold. Bartley for 3, deep 3, no good. Rebound, Carlson. Poked away, loses the handle on it. Ian Johnson has it. Long pass up to Nick Roberts, not a smart one. And now a long pass up on the other side of the court, and nobody home. Sam Gold and Drew Green were not on the same page there. I thought it was a really smart play from Drew Green, and Sam Gold just was paying no attention.
I'm just shaking my head that they're still up by 5 because I'm sorry. I know there's some Milligan fans watching. They ain't played daggone worth a hoot.
41-36, and it's one of those things, you know. You can say that, Cam, but at the same time, they're winning by 5.
They're winning by 5. I applaud them.
And
because what they're doing is they might not. They're not letting how on one end they're playing affect the other end, and that's what I commend the most. They're finding multiple ways. Good teams find multiple ways to win, and they're a good team.
And that's the point I was going to make.
Yeah.
Is across all sport platforms, good teams find a way to win, and this is a tough team. And,
they are.
They have the size advantage. They have the length. But Bryan has played, and that's almost not even mattered, you know. And Coach Robinson was telling me, you know, we're going to throw variety at him.
Right.
And what that tells me is that he's going to try to out scheme. You know what I mean? Like he's there to out coach.
And you can see that with how they tried to set up Bartley on everything. They are working through him, and they're trying to find ways to get him the ball in the best situations to score. And you know, it's watching this game, man. It's frustrating as a basketball fan just to watch it and just see so many turnovers.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I said it. I apologize. I think that's why I said it. It's frustrating to watch just so many turnovers and still be in the lead. And it's like, what is going on?
Well, you can talk to anybody from Milligan. They'll tell you we've played a sloppy game.
And
they have. They turned the ball over way too many times to expect to win. But on the other side of the court, they've held up. They've only given up 36 minutes through, you know, nearly 30 minutes of play. Nick Roberts with the 3
needed
ball.
That. He's been struggling to shoot the ball the last couple of games.
Yeah, he's like 6% from the three-point land, and he's a good shooter too. So he just has to get into a rhythm.
And that's just enough to do it.
Green taking the screen from Sanad. The backdoor cut. Bartley just can't finish with the reverse lay. Gene Holmes is laying out for it, and that's what's called out of bounds. Holy
that's
smokes.
what I was thinking too.
The out of bounds is called after Gene Holmes is nearly meleeed on the court.
You know, it's my style of basketball right there. I like that. I like that rough stuff. I like it. You know, we can sit up here and be like, oh, that's a foul. I'd rather be daggone punching people than being called for every single play.
I completely agree.
Yeah, let the boys play.
Sammy Sanad out there, top of the key, kind of running the offense. It's been a while since we've said his name. Crossing over. Tries to do the no-look pass, and a foul is going to be called on Nick Roberts.
That's a bailout and a half.
Yeah, it didn't look like – no, they called it on Noah Molaski.
Yeah, he was under him.
Okay, they called it on Noah Molaski. I was thinking they called it on Nick Roberts. So it looks like, you know, Molaski and Wilson perhaps are kind of chirping at each other. So
yeah.
The referee's going to try to calm things down a little
and you
bit.
know, that's the right call. They made the right call. I do believe that because he was he might have not been pushing him, but it was just the way it appeared because, I mean, he did overthrow the ball. I still think it was a bailout, but I guess it was the right call.
Sammy Sanad from the top of the key, no good. And another foul is going to be called on Noah Molaski.
Oh, yeah. Don't take it, ref.
And a technical foul is going to be called on Matthew. No, that's on Julian Wilson, it appears, the center from Van Alstyne, Texas. And I just don't know why, because the foul was called on Molaski, am I right?
It was, but he turned around and he started jawing back to Mulaski.
Oh, okay.
He was jawing a little bit.
Okay.
He was jawing a little bit.
And that was the same referee that kind of already gave the guys a warning.
Yeah,
that,
it was because they were down here shoving each other.
So probably, honestly, and I'm trying to be objective as possible about this, probably a good call from the referee to try to settle things down before they get out of hand.
No, and I agree. It's unfortunate it does fall on Milligan because it's one of those things where it's like it needs to be called before it gets out of hand. It's almost like it's almost like you just react a second and it's just like, oh well.
So what will happen here is the ball will go back to
Milligan.
Yeah, back to Milligan. They get the 2 free ones on the technical foul. Trey Morrow sunk both of those. Now it's all tied up, 41-41 with under 14 minutes to play. Green gets the inbound pass. Graham was open, but they didn't pass it to him. There's Graham, near side wing. There's Gold there, kind of with the pass and the screen, and Green with the bucket. 3-point lead now for the Buffaloes of Milligan University.
Really good shot by Green.
Morrow near side, near the NAI logo. Nick Roberts trying to slip a screen there, just can't get by him. Ian Johnson with a layup, and probably not the best of shots from him. Good defense there from Milligan. Crossover is Green. Gold out there for 3. Gold wide open. No good. Holmes with the rebound. Holmes pushing the tempo. 13 minutes remaining. 3-point game. 44-41. Roberts driving. Roberts with the layup. No good. Rebound the freshman Morrow. Kicks it out to Mulaski. Wow, the 3 ball. This guy just doesn't miss.
Pass come from the inside. Yep, step right into it. Made a shot. He's ready. Almost as good
Barley
as a free throw.
back to Gold. And a blocking foul is going to be called on Nick Roberts. And Roberts better be careful because that referee has thrown out 2 technical fouls already in this game.
I do think he messed that one up a little bit. I think he was outside the area, restricted area.
Yeah, I just don't think that. I mean, Roberts was as still as could possibly be, so unless his heel was somehow on the restricted area line, I just don't think that's a foul. But,
yeah.
You know, the old saying goes, ball doesn't lie, and Sam Gold missed the first one.
I was going to let you say it. I've been a little too biased today.
Hey, we had a talk before we got out here, and just so the listeners know, my buddy over here, Cam, is I mean, he's just as big of a Bryan College fan as it gets, right? And he gets up here and he's passionate about the game, and it is what it is.
Yeah, I apologize to all the Milligan viewers at home.
He missed both of them, but man, Ian Johnson and Nick Roberts tossed it off of each other's hands and out of bounds back to Milligan. Holy smokes.
Man, on both sides, it just keeps getting uglier and uglier.
Good inbound pass, good inbound play there drawn up by Coach Robinson. Sam Gold with the bucket, the sophomore from Wellington, New Zealand. Grimes back into this game. Ian Johnson far side, the 3 ball, no good. Poked around there at the low block.
Good
Roberts
job.
ends up with it. Back to Ian Johnson. Ian Johnson with the 3 ball.
Great job by Trey Morrow keeping that play alive. He's not going to get anything out of that in the stat book, but he made that play happen, and that was just excellent. He carried.
Javante Knox top of the key trying to work on Grimes. He's driving, and this defense has just been all over him. Graham wide open for 3, no good. Rebound Ian Johnson. Johnson back up the court after he belly flopped the basketball from the into the twine from about 25 feet. He's standing in the corner now. Nick Roberts, top of the key.
Good back cut.
Yes, what a cut from Trey Morrow. The reverse layup, the filthy freshman. I love that kid. Dylan Green up the court, Drew Green rather up the court. Out to Gold. Gold to Graham. Graham driving. Graham just throws up a shot, and it's going to be out of bounds on Nick Roberts. I thought Roberts perhaps fouled Graham on when the ball was on the way down, but no call. It's Buffalo's basketball. And look who just checked back into the game. The freshman from Bluff City, Tennessee, number 23, Dylan Bartley. He's had a game so far in this one.
Has.
He's got 15 points so far, and they're going to try to find a way to get that guy open. Back out to Gold. Gold driving with the left hand. Kicks it out to Sanad. And who even knew? The shot clock expired. Man, not a soul in this gym knew that buzzer was coming.
I mean, I totally forgot about it, too. I just got into the game watching it. Great defensive possession by Bryan.
Mulaski for deep three. Belly flop into the bucket. Good. And just like that, it's a 6-point game. Lions on top, 52-46, with just under 11 minutes remaining. Wow.
We said it at halftime. You keep taking good shots, they're going to fall.
Absolutely.
And they're going to fall, and they are falling. And let me tell you, with all the rain this week we've had here in Dayton, Tennessee, kind of come in here a little dry this morning.
Hey.
But now we're bringing it back now.
For it to be dry in this gym's a good thing, because we saw
Wednesday
earlier
night.
this week it was insane. I mean, the court was slick. I mean, I don't know what was going on. They had the heaters out there trying to dry up the court. Nothing seemed to be working. Out here we've seen a little less slippage, but hey, the rain's falling metaphorically this time.
Yes. Yes.
Well, with that, we're going to pause for just one moment. The score 52-46 with just under 11 minutes left. We'll be back in just 1 second. We're back here, and they're going to roll the ball in now to Javante Knox. Knox up the court for Milligan. Sanad hands it back off to Knox. Sanad was open. Good hand there from Mulaski. Mulaski, filthy moves up the court. The hesitation. Ian Johnson now. Ian Johnson steps back. The spin move. And there's Mulaski going to settle things down just a little bit and start opening up this offensive set here. Mulaski with the step back, the crossover, behind the back, drives baseline. There's Grimes, the 15-foot shot. No good. Good look there, though.
Very good look. Good creation and play make by Noah Mulaski there. Very, very good look.
Javante Knox on the other end of the court. 10 minutes remaining, just over. 52-46, still Lions leading. Sanad with a mismatch down there on Ian Johnson, but Ian Johnson holds his own with Trey Morrow helping. The 3-on-1 fast break. And wow, somehow Nick Roberts saves that. Grimes with the move, the cut, the alley-oop layup, good.
Possession started kind of shaky there, kind of trying to dribble through everybody, and ended just beautifully. That was a good look by Mulaski.
The Lions have come out a different team out of the half, Cam. And speaking of that, they steal it off the, oh, wow. Ian Johnson tries to save it. I'll just go ahead and override this one from the booth, Cam. Ian Johnson threw that ball off of Dylan Bartley's leg, and nobody with the stripes on saw it.
You know, I had people in front of me blocking my view a little bit. Couldn't really see, but hey, I believe you.
No,
they're talking it over though.
I
saw
it
over.
I definitely I had an unrestricted view there, and Khalil DH, you would think by the sound you're hearing that the ball's back to Bryan, but
that's just Khalil.
Yeah, just Khalil DH
a fan
checking
favorite,
in.
man. Just a 10 out of 10 guy, man. Just one of my good buddies. If I wasn't commentating, I'd be along with the crowd cheering him on. Coming to double from the other side, I like that.
They're swinging it wide. There's Carlson trying to drive baseline. Can't get any room in the middle. Gene Holmes driving. Uh-oh, the dynamic duo, the only
back
two on the
court.
offensive side. Gene Holmes driving baseline, and a blocking foul is going to be called on Dylan Bartley. He was in the restricted area.
Kind of a little payback call there from down here with Nick Roberts a little bit, because he was set. He was definitely outside the restricted. I don't know. He might have been in it. I think he might have been in it, actually.
Yeah, Bartley, he just kind of in it extended. His foot wasn't on the line, but he was you know, on
extended back. Yeah. I just now seeing that.
Kind of the baseline, more towards
right.
the baseline part of it. We're going to inbound it here to Gene Holmes, setting up the offense now. Our dynamic duo, our two favorite guys to watch play, Gene Holmes, Caleb Grimes out there. CA had some space in the middle. Holmes doesn't hit him. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Morrow up the middle. Morrow with the bucket. What a play by the filthy freshman.
Great play. Good play design. He flipped the screen, he rolled, and boom. Picking a little pick and roll action there.
Driving baseline, and I think they're going to call no basket on the floor blocking foul on Trey Morrow as he was kind of slipping as he was trying to guard Sam Gold. Sam Gold checked out of this game, and that might have been Flynn Carlson with the drive there. Like I said, I had a feeling I was going to confuse them all night. They're both 6'7" sophomores.
Same place, I believe. No, one's from Valparaiso, Indiana.
Yeah, they're a little distance apart.
Little distance there.
One's from across the ocean in New Zealand.
Little stone's throw across the pond.
Yeah. And Johnson going to check in for Noah Molaski.
Noah Molaski, just much like his sister in the first game, he's been all over the court in the second half. You know, he's done a lot of smart things. He's played good defense, and this is the big thing about this Bryan defense. They're just so handsy. You know, they get in the passing lanes, they get hands on balls, and they just make you uncomfortable.
Foul is going to be called there near the low block on Trey Morrow, and was it a hand check there, Cam?
Yeah, I think he hand checked him, but I thought it was a little soft.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to even these foul counts back up. 7-2 ain't looking too good on them, because I know good and well that they're playing a little rough down there too.
Yeah, well, 7 fouls with 8.5 minutes left. That's going to be. I have a feeling, I'm not a providentialist or anything, but that's going to come into play.
Yeah,
if there's this much time left and they're already in the bonus. One for 2 at the line. Morrow gets the rebound. Grimes moving up the court quickly. The beautiful dish from Grimes, and the ball hangs up on the rim, and the Clear DA fan group over here sucked the air out of the gym that time. Johnson guarding Sanad. Beautiful backdoor cut from Flynn Carlson with the bucket.
Very good. And good play by Sanad as well, just not panicking. He's kind of dribbling out of the double team and just letting everything form and develop. He didn't turn the ball over. There he is.
DA down low. He goes up with it, and a foul is going to be called on Matthew Roberts, the 6'3" sophomore from Canton, North Carolina. So DA will have 2 free ones at the charity stripe. Okay, it's hard not to kind of bust out on there laughing because this fan group that's right in front of us. You can't see them on your screen, but they're right in front of us as DA misses the first one.
With a cutout of Clear's head.
Yeah. And it's an interesting pose,
It is an interesting pose. Yeah. One for the books, I have to say.
The second one for DA is good. Green up the court, passes the equator. Holmes guarding, moving to his left. Gets the screen from Roberts. Many steps taken, no whistles blown. Misses a shot, rebound Morrow.
I about said one too many, but I think it was more than that.
Holmes far side wing. DA now has it. They're swinging it wide. Swinging it back around the other side this time. Caleb Grimes in the corner. Grimes tries to find his teammate, and Gene Holmes just can't get to him. It's intercepted by Sanad. Green with the hesitation move. Gets it to Sanad down low. The mismatch, reverse layup, the bucket. Good move from him.
He's tough. And they made an adjustment at halftime here. They went you know, they or maybe midway through the second half, they've been wanting to run through Barkley, they've been wanting to run through Bartley. Now they're wanting to run through Sanad, and they've kind of noticed that he's got the mismatch and got the body type that and the skill that he can really take over this game.
Gene Holmes for three. Gene Holmes, good.
Good shot.
9-point game, 6.5 minutes remaining. 60-51 Lions on top. Bartley for three. Man, that guy, you might as well just chalk it up as a make when the ball touches his hands.
He's shooting eyes out of it.
So after that, I think, was it Coach Robinson or Coach
Robinson.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a 30.
So Robinson took the 30-second timeout after the make there. So it's 60-54 with 6:27 remaining in the contest. It's going to go down to the wire. Stay tuned for some more action here in Dayton, Tennessee. We'll be back. We're back here with Lions ball. Gene Holmes taking up the floor. Trey Morrow there guarded by Gold. He pulls up from 12 feet and he makes it from 12 feet.
He's so tough. So tough to guard.
Green moving to the left, trying to get an offensive set going here. Long pass cross court to Sanad. Sanad for three.
I think we left somebody out.
Yeah.
I think we definitely left somebody out.
We did, for sure.
Very impressed by Sanad today.
Trey Morrow and Khalil DA on different pages of the book that time. Morrow tosses it out of bounds. Lions turn the ball over. It's only a 5-point game here, 62-57. 5:45 remaining in the game. Bartley trying to get some space from Ian Johnson. He steps back, fakes the shot, gets it into Gold. The nice cut up the middle, the bucket, and the foul.
That's tough. That's tough, and that's what he does best. He cuts, and he originally wanted to shoot the three, gives it, goes, and he gets it back, cuts and goes to the basket, makes a good move. That's what he does. Good play by Bartley.
Well, the freshman Bartley came into the game averaging 15.9 points per game today.
He's well on past that.
He's got 20.
They've done a good job kind of shutting him down in the second half. He really ain't shot a whole lot either, you know.
Rattles that one home. That's his 21st point of the game. Holmes driving, smacked away from Bartley and off the leg of Gene Holmes.
Very
Milligan
good defensive
ball.
play by Bartley. Very good defensive play.
Green up the court now. They continue to kind of slowly work their offense, just trying to get good shots here. Green moving to the middle, looking for some space. He has a backdoor cut to Sanad, and Sanad makes it.
I don't know if y'all can see. Sanad is really working. He is cutting. He is moving at all times. Him and Bartley, man, just making it so hard to guard. They just don't quit moving.
Nick Roberts top of the key. Roberts on Roberts action here. Gene Holmes out there now. Roberts on him this time. Nick Roberts fakes the pass. He draws a lot of contact, but no foul is called. Blocked by Green.
That was so foul.
Long pass up to Roberts. Fakes the pass. The shot, the basket. Milligan takes the lead once again, 64-62. 4.5 minutes remaining. Hand off to Ian Johnson. They're going to have to get it into their scorer's hands. Nick Roberts. There's Mulaski on the handoff. A lot of motion here. Mulaski's driving. Mulaski draws a lot of contact. No foul is called. And finally, they get a foul called on the floor.
Trey Morrow has really kept the team in a lot of offensive possessions today by grabbing some offensive rebounds. I don't know how many he has, but I will say this too. They missed him wide open under the basket. I mean, wide open.
Well, that was Morrow's 10th rebound on the game. He's 14 and 10 for the line now. He's played a heck of a game so far. He's driving baseline, fakes a shot. Now he reverses with the left hand.
Make it 16.
Wow. What a move
And that's
by
a key.
Morrow.
I don't know if that'll go down as a second chance point, but that's a key second chance point right there.
64-64, all knotted up, under 4 minutes in this game. Green hands it off to Bartley. Bartley's driving baseline. Bartley with the shot, packed by Ian Johnson. A lot of contact there at the sideline. And a foul is going to be called on Ian Johnson. And Sanad is kind of jawing at the referee once again. It's the same one that teed him up earlier. I don't know how much I'd be pushing my luck. He's close to getting thrown out of this game.
This is big right here going to the line.
Yeah, it is. The ball game's tied 64-64. 3:46 remaining. He has a chance to extend it with a 1-and-1 opportunity. And it's missed. Trey Morrow rebound.
That's almost worse than going 0 for 2.
Yeah. Gene Holmes up the court. They get into the front court, and Coach Rakoski calls a timeout. So we're just going to stay here because I feel like there's a lot to break down, Cam. With 3 minutes and 41 seconds left, the ball game's all knotted up at 64. What has to happen for either of these teams to kind of complete this victory?
Both teams want to play at 2 different paces. You know, as odd as this sounds, usually when you're 3:41 in the game, tie game, you usually want to slow down, you usually want to get a good shot, you usually want to just make sure you're getting the best shot possible. I don't feel like that's the case for Bryan. I feel like they got to get out in transition. They got to get out and run. They got to have Milligan on their heels at all times. They need Gene Holmes. They need Caleb Grimes to have the point guards backing up on their feet, taking the leverage and getting to the hoop. And I feel like that's when they did their most damage. I feel like when they're having to play in the half-court set, they're struggling. Milligan, on the other hand, they want to play in the half-court set. They want to keep them in the half-court set because they can't run. They can't really run with them that well. Not as good as they need to stop them like that. On offense, Milligan they need to run through Sanad.
Yeah.
You know, Bartley's great. Bartley's a shooter. But Sanad's drawing so much attention because he's so athletic and he's so big in the post and he's got really good moves and good touch that Bartley's going to get open because of him. They need to keep feeding him because he's a walking mismatch out there.
No, he is.
He moves like almost, I wouldn't say as fast as Gene Holmes, but he moves like a guard like him, and he's big like Nick Roberts, you know.
Gene Holmes hands it off to Mulaski, getting things going after the timeout. Mulaski, gold on him. Mulaski stops. Holmes open on the left side. Pulls up from 14 feet.
Wow. What a shot.
Beautiful shot there from Gene Holmes. The lead is 2, 66-64. Sanad, top of the key. Strong pass, packed by Trey Morrow down to the low block. Gene Holmes, long pass up the court, wide open is Mulaski. No good. Man, I just really was thinking that one was going to go through.
It looked good, didn't it?
Green up the court. Swinging it wide. Bartley guarded by Ian Johnson. Sanad moving well. Catches the screen. Going to kind of start things back up. Green wide open near the logo for 3. No good. Rebound Roberts. And slowing it down here. Crosses the midway point with 25 seconds remaining on the shot clock. 2:34 remaining on the game clock. 66-64, Lions leading. Roberts hands it off to Johnson. Mulaski there in the corner. Sanad guarding. Now they're going to switch Bartley on him. The step back 3 from Mulaski. Money! Wow! What a shot from Noah Mulaski!
That's ice right there. That's cold.
Green up here front side. Bartley with an answer. Bartley with the bucket. Holy smokes, that guy can shoot lights out.
Oh my gosh.
Ian Johnson up the court. Ian Johnson with the lay. Ian Johnson with the bucket.
Way to get out and run. Way to take advantage.
Both teams back and forth, throwing haymakers at one another. The 12-round bout here with just under 2 minutes left in the game. Bartley moving with the left side, in with the bucket in the left hand. The baby hook. 69-71. Lions still leading.
As this game goes on, I just see he can score at all levels of the court. Now, you know, I I made the mistake of saying all he wanted to do was shoot the three, which would have looked like in the first half. But, man, he can really score at all levels.
Roberts down there, fakes the handoff. He's driving baseline, has some space, goes up for the bucket. And I guess blocked half-heartedly there from Green.
It's going to be 8:20. Oh. Yeah, 8 seconds on the shot clock.
They're going to reset the shot clock. The ball did not touch the rim, so the shot clock doesn't reset to 20. 1:23 remaining in this game, and Cam, this has been the narrative all year long. These games are going to come down to the wire in Summers Gymnasium.
This is Bryan basketball. they want you to kind of grab your heart a little bit, hold your breath, and that's what keeps putting the butts in the seats, man.
Trey Morrow in the corner, the freshman for three, no good. Rebound Green.
Not a
slowing
bad
the
play.
pace just a little bit. 1:13 remaining in the game. 71-69 Lions leading. Sammy Sinod hands it back to Green after the pass. Gets the Green, or gets the screen rather. The
Over
shot,
the
no
back.
good. Gold rebounds. Gold shoots, packed by Morrow. They finally get the rebound, the Lions do, and Holmes is back up the court. Slowing things down here.
Good timeout.
Timeout's going to be called there. They'll have one remaining after that one with 46.6 seconds remaining. The Lions leading 71-69, and I want to point out something real quick, Cam. 5 team fouls for Milligan versus 9 for Bryan. So the next foul for Bryan, they'll be in the double bonus. Milligan will. They still have, a foul to give.
I think it's
before
a
they're in the
dangerous
bonus.
place for both teams to be, because Bryan does not want to foul, because then it's definitely 2 free throws, and you don't want that, because in a game like this, first off, you don't want to foul because you're up, score with the clock stop. You want to make them score with the clock still running. That's a big thing too. But also for Milligan, it's not a good thing to have only 5 fouls, because now you're going to have to waste more time. And I know it might not look like a second or two each time, but you're going to have to waste more time trying to find those last 2 fouls.
Yeah.
And every second is precious in a game like this.
Mulaski gets the inbound pass. 15 seconds on the shot clock. 40 on the game clock now. Mulaski working on Bartley. The step back shot, no good. Rebound Morrow. They set things back up. They're looking to foul now. Ian Johnson with the ball. That's probably not the guy you want to foul.
Don't matter.
And they're going to do it
bonus.
anyway. That's true. They still had one to give. We just talked about that.
See what I mean right there? Then they burnt 6 seconds, 7 seconds right there. And now they got to burn another second to 2 seconds to try to get this next foul in. But first off, let's just talk about Trey Morrow.
Let's take a minute as a timeout.
Yeah,
on the floor.
that's just hustle.
Yeah,
that's just all heart.
It's unbelievable. The guy has 16 points on the game, 12 rebounds, 6 for 11 from the floor. Played a heck of a game.
How many offensive rebounds does he have?
I don't have that stat.
Don't have that stat?
I don't have the full stat.
He had, in the first half, he had 1 offensive rebound. I would venture to say he has, in my book, and maybe on paper he only has 4 or 5, but in my book he has 6. He's kept a lot of plays alive under the basket there.
Well, the Lions have 7 total offensive rebounds, and I'd venture to say he's most of those.
He's probably, I would have to say. I would definitely have to say. He's kept so many possessions alive, and now it's key because now you control the ball here, And if you look for Milligan, you don't have to foul here.
Yeah.
You don't have to foul. You got 20 seconds on the shot clock with a reset shot clock, and after a foul, 30 seconds. You don't have to foul.
No. But
now they're in the bonus.
Well,
that's where you look at.
For a second, let's look at this. We were coming into the second half, and the Lions were trailing by 11. They're leading by 2 now, and the difference is they've increased their shooting percentage by 10%. They were 33% in the first half, and now for a total, they're at 43.1%.
Right.
So that's been a huge. That's huge.
I know and they're still taking just
actually
the same
13%.
shots.
They were at 30 at the half.
They were taking the same kind of shots they were in the first half, but now they're just hitting them. Too much dribbling down the corner.
in trouble. He gets it out to Roberts. 7 on the shot clock. Ian Johnson has the ball. There's Gene Holmes. Gene Holmes for 3. No good. A lot of hustle from Morrow. Can't track it down.
This is dangerous. This is dangerous territory. If You know, if I'm Bryan, I'm thinking about maybe fouling.
Yeah, it may not be
with a shooter like Bartley, you don't want to send him to the line to tie the game.
71-69, 9 seconds on the clock. Green going up the court. Green stopping. Green looking for a backdoor cut, picked off by Roberts. Roberts is fouled down there, and that could potentially be the icing on the cake. A great look, but better defense from Nick Roberts. So Nick Roberts will go to the line. 2.3 seconds remaining in the contest. It's a 2-point game. Lions leading 71-69, and Coach Robinson of Milligan University.
Well, I kicker, I believe.
Is going to take a timeout here. Yeah, so if he goes 2 for 2 at the line, in my opinion, it's ball game. If he goes, if he goes 1 for 2, then that's a different story because they could still tie it with a 3-ball.
Right. Heaven forbid if he goes 0 for 1.
Yeah, that's true. That's true because I forgot that was on the 4th foul, and they're just in the bonus, not the bonus plus. So
he's not though. I have full-fledged faith in Nick Roberts right here to go to the line. I think he's a junior or senior. I think he's a senior. He's
a junior.
He's a junior. Okay, still though, man, he's experienced. He's played a lot of basketball here at this level. He's gonna be fine. And with 2.3 seconds, even if he does miss, it's going to be tough to get up the court. Milligan's just going to have to throw up a miracle.
Yeah, they'll have a timeout, and I'm sure they'll take it with only 2 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, I'm sure. They'd have to.
The shot is up. The shot is good.
Didn't even touch the rim, did it?
No, it didn't. Just tickled the twine on the way down. 72-69. The second one for Roberts. Up and good. Four-point game. They're going to have to throw up a shot. They throw it up. It doesn't matter. It means nothing. The final score, wow. A nail-biter once again, but this time it goes Bryan's way. So they'll move up to 3rd in the conference after this victory. They won this one 73-69. What made the difference, Cam? I think we're thinking the same thing, to be fair.
I mean, shooting percentage. That's the obvious one, but, I think what we saw was, honestly, I think here's the downfall of Milligan: turnovers. What the difference is going to be when we get the full stat sheet up here for us. We finally capitalized off turnovers. That 4 points off quote unquote 7 turnovers in the first half is not good.
Yeah.
You have to capitalize better than that. I have them down for almost 20 turnovers on the night.
Yeah.
So probably like around 15 to 16 turnovers.
Yeah, probably so.
As we're going to pause for the prayer.
Yeah, pause just 1 second. We'll be back. Yeah, the points off of turnovers, that greatly impacted the game. They were shooting at 30.3% at half, and they increased that margin up to 43%.
Yeah.
That's huge. We talked about it the whole time. Like, they have the shots.
Yeah.
They're just not falling.
Right.
And finally, in the second half, the lid comes off the basket, and they start to fall.
Right. No, and if they shoot remotely decent, if they shoot remotely close to how they shot in the second half, they don't even have to shoot as good as they shot in the second half.
No.
In the first half, it's probably a 12 to 15 point win if I had to guess. And I think if we want to look at difference makers for Bryan, I think we can look at Ian, we can look at Noah, but you have to look at Trey Morrow.
Yeah.
You have to. 12, 13 rebounds, over probably half of them are offensive. Kind of just played good. He played solid defense. Didn't really have any breakdowns all night. He didn't do any. Showed no signs of immaturity as a true freshman. Took care of the basketball. I don't even think he had a turnover. Maybe one. I think you have it right there.
I don't have the full stats. It doesn't show turnovers.
But he really was a difference maker in the game today. He really was.
He was, and we'll look down the line. Ian Johnson led the team in points with 19 points, 5 rebounds, 8 for 18 from the field, 3 for 8 from three-point land. Gene Holmes is second. We never even realized that guy scores the basketball the way that he does.
Scored a lot tonight, didn't he?
He had 17 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, 7 for 13 from the field, and 2 for 4 from three-point land. He usually doesn't shoot that much from from three-point land. Then, of course, we get down to Trey Morrow, the guy with 16 points, 12 rebounds, 6 for 11 from the field, and 0 for 1 from three-point land. But he was 4 for 4 at the line. He got both of the chances to on those technical fouls to knock down those free throws.
That's big right there. Look, that's the difference in the game.
Yeah,
it's the difference in the game.
You look at you really do. You look at the technical fouls there, and you're exactly right. If without those, it's 69-69 going into overtime. So it's one of those things like those airheaded errors can come back to bite you.
Right. No, you're 100% right. So, but I thought it was just a great game, great plan game, great scheme game by Bryan. They played their game in the second half. The first half, I think they got brought out of it. I think Milligan did a good job, even though Milligan didn't play their best in the first half, and they definitely didn't play in the second half either. They still were able to take Bryan out of their game and what they wanted to do. Now, I mean, looking at Milligan, is it Drew Bartley or Dylan Bartley? Excuse me. Dylan Bartley just unreal. Unreal shooter. If he's breathing, he's making. Yeah. And, he just played lights out. And I think another difference maker, you have to go with Sammy Sanad.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he only scored 13, which honestly I thought he scored more. It was allowed 13. I thought he scored more, but it all come at once. So I thought, but just having him on the court defensively made a difference, but having him on the court offensively just was. It just made a lot of difference because they were able to play through him in the post. And I thought when they had the most of their success in the second half, the ball touched his hand at least one time during possession on the block, and it caused for us to have to kind of dive down on them hard. And and he just was such a good facilitator of finding his guys. He didn't have to score. I wish I had how many assists did he have? He had 3 assists, but I'm sure he had more past to the assists too. So he made a lot of stuff happen tonight. There as well, but those two guys, they did it all. I mean, after that you have some.
They really did.
Some decent scoring out of Carlson, Roberts. Knox scored 6, and he only ended up with 7 rebounds. They really did a good job of neutralizing him in the second half, of not letting him do more than he needed to. Yeah. And then we wanted them to, so that was a very good job there as well. They also did a good job on Sam Gold, our one of our key players who's averaging I think 14 points a game. Did a very good job with him. He only scored 11.6 a game. 11.6, excuse me. And he 11.6. Only scored 6 points on 3 of 7 shooting, 0 for 2 for 3. Did a good job on guarding him tonight too.
Yeah, they did, and I thought that was one thing we continue to talk about the narrative for the Lions is that they play solid defense. Every game they're going to go into, they're going to play you tough. They're not the tallest bunch, they're not the strongest bunch, they're not the biggest bunch, but they're going to play you tough on defense.
Right.
And Milligan knew that, and I talked to Coach Robinson before the game. He continued to tell me, we're going to throw variety at them. All right, it's more variety than the McDonald's value menu. This guy was throwing different defensive schemes, different offensive schemes, or finding ways to get Bartley open. They started using Sanad, who wasn't filling up the stat sheets before this game. So I feel like they did what they could do tonight.
They did, and I thought Coach Robinson had just an absolute great plan. Just some of the sets and some of the screens and just everything they did to get Bartley open. They threw the kitchen sink and more at him, just trying to get him open. He does a good job of getting open. He runs off screens very well, and he has a really fast release. Yeah. So I was really impressed with him and how they schemed. I was really impressed with Bartley and even Sanad as well. Milligan, they just got to cut down on the turnovers. They have it. If they want to win this in the next matchup, they're going to have to cut down on turnovers. However, that's Bryan's MO though. They like to get in the passing lanes. They like to get over aggressive and help. They like to force turnovers. They'd rather force turnovers than worry about getting beat. Yeah. And I like that. Yeah. I like that about them. Because they're fast enough to recover as well. Yeah. Even if they do get beat. Yeah. No, you're totally right. And with that, I feel like we broke it down pretty well. The final score 73-69. The Lions come out of this one victorious, improve their conference record. Milligan falls. And it'll be interesting to see where all the standings kind of shake up after this one because all those teams are so bunched up there in the middle of the pack in this conference. But with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in for Grayson Whaley and Camden Fuqua. Sorry about that. Have a great night. God bless.